Unpalatable truths. 1. One of the more subtle ways we can be manipulated is by what is not said or seldom mentioned. Over the years, and there have been quite a few because I'm 85, I believe this has got worse, especially recently. So each episode, this blog will focus on at least one unpalatable or neglected fact. My comments, interpretations and reactions are entirely my own, but the facts will be facts. I'll start with something seldom mentioned about Hamas and Gaza. The unpalatable truth is that Hamas is the elected government of Gaza. This is almost never mentioned, and the phrase designated a terrorist organization by many governments is usually tagged on to the name. You could add democratically to the sentence before, is the democratically elected government of Gaza. The people of Gaza felt betrayed by the corruption and failure of the preceding Palestinian Authority and were suffering severe oppression from the Israeli government. So many turned to Hamas. It didn't win an outright majority, but it was the most successful party with 44% in fair elections. Compare that to Labour's 33.7% in our last election. Whatever remains of that government has been issuing casualty figures through its health ministry and struggling to maintain other services. That's the fact. I believe that never mentioning this during the vast acreage of media coverage of the war is dishonest and misleading, especially considering the label of terrorist organization that is bandied about. I don't know what responsibility the Hamas government bears for the appalling attacks of October the 7th. The civil authority and the armed wing are not the same, but it seems very likely there was some awareness of the planned attack. Even so, I can't help feeling that labelling an elected government a terrorist organization is a weird and unhelpful thing to do. It's not a recipe for compromise, negotiation, and lasting peace. It shows no respect for the people who took part in the election and calls into question our high-minded democratic principles. We can't just pause our faith in democracy when it produces inconvenient results. We went along with the United States and aligned ourselves with the Israeli government view, which was politically very convenient. What is seen as terrorism by Israel and its allies is self-defense and the fight for freedom to the citizens of Gaza. While I was checking my facts for this blog, I discovered that Hamas was originally promoted and politically supported by the Israeli government, who were hoping they would be even easier to control than the Palestinian Authority. But that is really a subject for a dark irony podcast, and not a podcast about suppressed or neglected facts. Next time, neglected facts about small boat crossings and asylum seekers.